Hi guys, it's Emil, and this week's topic is trans positivity. And this week I have completely reversed my video angle, so instead of using the natural lighting behind me, which would be the logical thing to do, I am sitting by my desk, and this just feels a lot more comfortable for me, because I sit here a lot, and I can have my little post-it note with notes in front of me on the desk, so I'm just hoping that the lighting will turn out okay, and so I might keep using this angle, otherwise I won't. Anyway, this week's topic is trans positivity, and so I'm going to talk about how I feel being trans has impacted my life in a positive way. And everyone might not feel the same, everyone might not relate to being trans in the same way, everyone might not have the same experiences. I'm not saying everyone has to have the same experiences, you know the drill. I just wanna, mention that these are just my personal experiences and reflections. So first of all, I feel like being trans has given me friends that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't been trans, because we're not just friends because we're trans, but we got to know each other because we were trans. Like my partner, we followed each other on Tumblr because it was that other Swedish trans person that we had happened to find, and then we met up and it turned out that we had a lot more in common, and now, he's my partner and he's like the best person I've ever met. And there are so many people that I know, like both close friends and just like acquaintances, that I really, really value, like so much, and I'm so honored to get to be, friends with them, and I wouldn't have been friends with them if I hadn't been trans. That is something that I wouldn't trade away for anything, and I'm really, really grateful to have all these amazing people in my life. And I'm almost getting emotional just talking about it, because I never knew that I would know people that were so incredible and so incredibly strong. I also feel like being trans has made me understand that I can't 100% understand everyone else's experiences. Like, there are experiences that I think I can relate to, but there are still more things behind them, that I can't see, that I can't understand, but that are still there, and I can still be aware that they're there, and I can still, respect that. Just like a cis person can, relate to what being trans is like, and we can explain to a cis person what being trans feels like, or what dysphoria feels like, or whatever, and have them be able to relate and obviously have compassion, but they will never be able to 100% understand what being trans feels like. But obviously being trans is still a real and valid and serious thing, In that sense, it has made me more understanding of the fact that there are so many different experiences, and even if I can't understand all of them 100%, I can still respect what another person is saying about their experience, and I can recognize that there are things that I will never know what they feel like. And that's okay. I can still be respectful and cater to that person's needs. And I also feel like being trans has given me more emotional endurance and emotional maturity, and sort of a different perspective of time, and when things take time. And maybe that's just as a young person growing up in life and experiencing more things in general. Maybe it's not actually a trans-related thing, but I feel like when I think about, what being trans has taught me, that's one of the things. And I just feel like, because if you're a trans person, unless you're super rich, you're gonna have to wait. Sometimes you have to wait for people to accept you, sometimes you have to wait to be, old enough to transition, sometimes you have to wait for, times to see a doctor or to get hormones. In Sweden you have to wait to get a diagnosis, to be able to get hormones and surgery, or you have to wait to save up money for surgery. There's just a lot of waiting involved unless you can basically pay your way out of it. I tend to be a very impatient person, and so I feel like I've learned that it's not a waste of my life if I spend half a year or a year just preparing for something, because I in the beginning of and in the middle of, throughout my entire wait to get hormones, I just felt like that my life was wasting away and that I wasn't living it fully, and I wasn't. And there are things that I could have been doing and had the energy and self-confidence to do if I had been on hormones then. But I feel like it has taught me a valuable lesson in that life is never wasted, really, especially not if you're working towards something that you want, even if you don't feel like you're going forward fast enough. I don't know if I'm making sense with this. I just feel like I've learned that I can wait longer than I think I can. I believe in my own emotional endurance more now than I did before because, you know, I feel like I have a bigger perspective on time, and I can recognize that it feels a certain way when you're in the middle of something, and when you're in the middle of waiting for something, and it feels a certain way when you're actually there, and when you've reached that goal, and when you're a year later after having reached that goal. And I can recognize the impermanence of those impatient feelings, and I can recognize the impermanence of the feeling that time is just slipping through my fingers, because eventually you trudge through that swamp and you're there and it's fine, and you still have a lot of memories from that waiting time that you will cherish throughout your life, and so that time was not wasted. It may have prevented you from doing some things that you would have liked to do during that time, but it wasn't wasted. And I feel like, you know, my whole like being trans and transitioning and all that has really taught me that, and that's a really valuable lesson for me because, as I said, I tend to be such an impatient person, and you know, when I want something, I want it to happen right away. Maybe that's just being young, maybe that's just what it's like, I don't know, but I feel like that's something that being trans has taught me. I mean, there's more than what I mentioned in this video, but this video can't be like 1,000 years long, so I gotta stop somewhere, right? There are good things that can come with the experiences we have, and there are valuable things to learn, and that we can teach other people, like, because we are as we are, who we are, and because we go through the things we go through. And I don't mean to like glorify the situation of a trans person in the world today, because it's generally horrible, but there's still value in it. I don't think we should dismiss that. Anyway, I feel like I'm just rambling now, so I'm gonna stop now. I hope you took something from this video, and I hope you've had a good day, good week, good month, year, life. Next week's topic is relationships, and then I will be bringing Christian, my partner, into my video, so be sure to look out for that. And I will see you next week. Okay, love you, bye.